Hey friends, thanks for joining me. I'm filming this morning live from St. Louis. My wife had choreographed a piece for St. Louis Dance Theater, and the performance was last night and tonight, so I came in to enjoy it. And luckily, one of the board members offered us their lovely apartment that we're staying at. So I had to move some things around. Hopefully, the view is okay, the audio is good. And let's start lying on our backs this morning or today. Go ahead and lie onto your back. Now, it might feel good to have your knees bent. It might feel good to have your legs straight, whichever feels better for you. And we'll just be here for a minute or two before we start moving, that is. Let's take a moment to get comfortable. Allow the floor to take your body weight. Allow your upper and lower rows of teeth to separate and feel your tongue widen inside your mouth. Soften your eyes and just begin to practice pratyahara by drawing your awareness and your senses inward the way a turtle draws its limbs into the shell so you really notice how it feels to be in your body today at this time. And then if you haven't already, also begin to notice your breath. Start to feel your body breathe. Right now, continue to breathe freely through your nose. But use your hands to draw your right knee in toward your chest and begin to also then mobilize your right ankle. It's like you're painting a big circle with your right toes. And go the other direction. Okay, for this next one, you might want to have your left leg all the way straight on the floor because now we're going to not use our hands and make a big circle with our right leg. Think about your right thigh making a big circle within the hip socket. So let your knee bend freely to make that big circle. And then reverse it, go the other direction. All right, now hold your right thigh and press your right foot up toward the ceiling. So you open the back of your right knee and then bend your knee so you can pull your heel in towards your hip. And then press your foot back up toward the ceiling and then bend your knee so you can pull your heel toward your hip. And try that maybe 5 or 6 more times, extending and flexing your right knee. And then finally, keep your right foot up and imagine you're standing on the ceiling with the sole of your right foot. You can keep holding your leg. You can try it without holding your leg. Take a few slow, smooth breaths here. Good. And let's change sides. Now bring your right leg down, pull your left knee in, and mobilize your left ankle. So you make that big circular motion with your left toes. And then reverse it and go the other direction. And now bring your hands down and make the big circular motion with your left leg. So you mobilize your left hip. And then reverse it, go the other direction. Okay, now hold your left thigh and press your left foot up, and then bend your left knee, and extend your left knee, and flex your left knee 5 or 6 more times. And finally, keep your left foot up, and now imagine you're standing on the ceiling with the sole of your left foot, with or without the use of your hands. Okay, good. Pull both knees into your chest and make circles with both of the knees, both of your knees, so you massage your lower back on the floor. And go the other direction. Okay, now make those circles again, but this time without using your hands, so you get a little more core activation to make those circles happen. Make some small circles, make some big circles, both directions, of course. Okay, now, still without using your hands, make circles with both knees again, but in opposite directions. Make circles with both knees, but in opposite directions, almost like you're doing the breaststroke if you were swimming. And reverse it. Okay, let's do some windshield wipers next. So have your knees bent, feet on the floor, and begin with your feet together, arms out like a T or like a cactus. And then when you exhale, drop your knees to your left and turn your chin to your right. And then inhale and bring your knees back up and now change sides, knees to your right, turn your chin to your left. Come back to the center, then separate your feet, let's say a few inches, and repeat. Exhale, knees to the left, turn your head to the right. Inhale to the center, then change sides. And now try that a few more times. So once you've gone to both sides, separate your feet a little bit more and repeat. Okay, now go back to whatever width felt most interesting to you. So it can be really close, it can be really far, whatever, whatever feels most interesting to you. And then drop your knees to your left, turn your chin to your right. Stay here. And if it feels good, of course, you could bring your left ankle on your right thigh. So your right thigh and hip have a deep internal rotation. Okay, good. Back to the center. Pull your knees into your chest. And then just one more on the back for now. Let's do, well, we'll do a couple different bridge variations. At first, just keep your arms down by your sides. And when you exhale next, press your feet down and push your hips up. So you open the fronts of your hips. Again, for now, just keep your arms down. And then when you inhale, slowly lower back to the floor. And repeat. Exhale and push your hips up. And then when you inhale, let your hips slowly go down. Try that a few more times. And possibly opening the fronts of your hips every repetition a little bit more. And now we're going to do the reaching bridge. So the next time you exhale, press your hips up, but also reach with your right arm and roll onto your left arm. And then when you inhale, return to the starting position so you're down. And now change sides. This exhale, reach with your left arm and lift your hips. And try that a few more times. So whenever you inhale, you're back in the center on the floor. When you exhale, you reach to one side diagonally, ending up completely off your back, kind of balancing on the other arm. Your feet stay really grounded though. All right, good. Then back to the center. Pull your knees into your chest. Now, if you have any kind of low back issue, it might just feel better if you roll off to a side. If it feels okay, then maybe rock a little front and back to massage the muscles along your spine. Okay. Then all the way up to seated. Bend one knee and use your hands to massage that foot to wake up all its little joints. All right, now wake up your other foot. Okay, nice. Now lean back on your hands, bend your knees. Let's do some seated windshield wipers. So when you exhale, drop your knees to a side. When you inhale, lift them back up. And at this point, take plenty of weight on your hands so you don't feel any compression in your spine. Okay, now let's add that reaching again, like we did in bridge. So when you drop your knees to one side, reach with the other hand and lift your hips up. Reach like at a diagonal kind of angle here. And then come back to seated and change sides. Now, of course, if this hurts your wrist or your shoulder, you can skip this part and just continue with the first version of the seated windshield wipers. When you lift your hips up, you can keep your knees down on the floor so you get a good side stretch in there. Okay. Now, when you go back to your first side, let's just stay there. Set up a good 90-90 positions, and then bring your hands to the floor outside that thigh for a little twist. And kind of like when we started in the seated windshield wipers, don't be afraid to take some weight on your hands so you don't feel any compression in your spine, but you for sure feel a twist. You feel some rotation. Take a few slow, smooth breaths here. Okay, then change sides. Okay, good. Now unwind. Just cross your ankles. Let's come up to all fours and go through some kneeling salutations next. So from your hands and knees, inhale and extend your spine so you lengthen the area between your sternum and navel. And then curl your toes under so you can exhale back to dog pose. Inhale back to all fours. Lift your chest and look forward. This exhale, sit back to child's pose, engaging your abdomen on the way back. Now inhale, sweep your arms up, opening the fronts of your hips again. Exhale back to child's pose, and let's begin that sequence again. Inhale to all fours, extend your spine. Exhale back to dog pose. Inhale to your hands and knees, lift your chest, look forward. Exhale to child's pose, tighten your abdomen on the way back. Inhale, reach up, open the fronts of your hips. Exhale back to child's pose. And let's go through that sequence a couple more times on your own, at your own pace. If you're not already, link each movement to one breath, but do your best to stretch the breath so it lasts a little bit longer than the movement does. In fact, use the movements of your body to help stretch the breath. And this next time you're in downward facing dog, let's stay there and feel free to pedal your feet back and forth a little bit and or shift your hips a little bit side to side. Okay, let's come back down to all fours and do some bird dogs next. We'll do like the kind of the crunching bird dog. So when you're ready here, inhale and lift your right arm and your left leg up. And now as you exhale, bring your right elbow to your left knee like you're doing a diagonal crunch. Then inhale, reach with your right arm and your left leg again. And now exhale back to all fours. And we'll change sides. This inhale, lift your left arm and your right leg up. Keep your balance. As you exhale, left elbow to right knee. Now inhale as you reach and exhale back to table pose. Let's do that one more time together. Inhale, right arm and left leg up. Exhale, right elbow to left knee. Inhale as you reach. Exhale back to all fours. Now left arm and right leg up. Exhale as you do that crunch. Inhale when you reach again. And then back to table pose. Let's go through that sequence a couple more times on your own, at your own pace. Ideally, still stretching the breath so it lasts a little bit longer than the movement. And of course, there's no need to rush. We have plenty of time. Slow and smooth is the way to go. Okay, now let's come back to that first side. And this time, I'm going to ask you to keep your right elbow and your left knee connected. In fact, resist your right elbow and left knee into each other isometrically. Push the floor away with your left hand. Take a few more slow, smooth breaths here. And then reach with your right arm and your left leg. Take a few breaths here. Keep pushing the floor away. Okay, back to all fours. Readjust here. And we'll change sides. So now connect your left elbow and your right knee. And now reach with your left arm and your right leg. Push the floor away with your right hand down there. Okay, back to all fours. Inhale here, and then sit in a child's pose. Make sure your knees are about shoulder width in child's pose. And when you fold forward here, focus on breathing into your back. Breathe into your back as if you could breathe and direct the breath into the area behind your heart. All right, now let's walk your hands over to your left. And then breathe into the right side of your rib cage as if you could breathe more into your right lung. All right, now change sides. Walk your hands over to your right. Breathe into the left side of your rib cage and your left lung. Okay, now let's sit up. If it's comfortable, sit on your heels. Of course, you could use a prop if it's not comfortable, or sit however you need. And then bring your palms together and mobilize your wrists. Make a circular motion with your hands. When the backs of your hands are together, maybe give a little pressure. Go both directions. Okay, now bring your fingertips to your shoulders. Make big backward circles with your elbows. Good. Now add a twist. So bring one elbow forward, one back at the same time, and turn your shoulders. So you feel some core activation again, helping you with this twist. All right, now rest your hands on your lap and draw a circle with your chin. So bring your chin down, then move your chin toward one shoulder. Lift your chin up, chin toward the other shoulder, and then down again. And then reverse it. All right, good. Let's stretch back into down dog. And this time in down dog, maybe press your thighs back a little bit further. Okay, now at the very end of this exhale, do a brief pause of the breath. And as you pause after exhale, suck your navel back towards your spine so you hollow out your abdomen for a second or two. Then relax your abdomen. Inhale and repeat. Exhale all the breath out. Then really all three bandhas, but emphasize Uddiyana Bandha so it feels like you hollow out your abdomen as you're empty of breath for a second. Let's try that one more time. All right, now step your left foot forward to the outside of your left hand to a lizard lunge. And just make some circles here with your hips. Check out this first lunge, see how it feels. And then let's just change sides. So left foot back, right foot forward to the outside of your right hand for the lizard. Okay, now step both feet forward. And let's say have your feet about at least, I say at least hip width. Bring your fingertips to the floor, including your thumb tips. Then drop your hips and let your heels lift off the floor. Come into a frog squat so that you're like a frog sitting up real tall. Heels can be off the floor, that's fine. Elbows between, or arms between your knees, fingertips and thumb tips down. Then see if you can extend your spine here. Inhale, see if you can get some extension in your spine. Now, when you exhale, press your heels down and your hips up at the same time. And repeat. Inhale back to that frog variation. Then when you exhale, press your hips up and heels down. Let's try that maybe 5 or 6 more times. All right, good. Then let's come all the way up to standing and open your feet wide. All right. Open your feet nice and wide. Turn your toes out a little bit and just move a little bit side to side into like a side lunge. At this point, don't worry about getting your hands to the floor. In fact, see if you can keep your torso upright and just go a little side to side. Of course, you might need to readjust the width between your feet or the angles of your feet. As always, when you go to one side, make sure whatever knee bends, you want to avoid collapsing to that inner arch. Make sure you feel weight on the outer edge of the foot, of the knee that's bent as you go side to side. Okay, now go to one side. We're going to stay there. So you choose a side. Bend one knee. And as I mentioned, as you bend this knee, make sure you feel weight on the outer edge of that foot. Avoid collapsing to the inner arch. Now, we could just stay here and bring your hands into the mudra of attention. And bring your arms out like a T. Now stay here. Obviously, there's more weight on one foot. If you want to make it more challenging, it's quite a bit more challenging, but if you want more challenge, lift your other foot, the ball of your other foot off the floor. So you're kind of balancing on that heel. As I mentioned, it's more challenging. So if you do that and you feel this one collapsing, then go back to the first version. Arms out like a T and the hands are mudra of attention. Stay here wherever you are. See if you can release your tailbone toward the floor, like when we do that Qigong and Tai Chi type movement. See if you can release your tailbone toward the floor as if there's a string tied to the tailbone with a 1 pound weight on the end, just gently tractioning it down. Take a few more breaths. Great. Now change sides. So bend the other knee. As you do, make sure you're not collapsing to that inner arch. If you want more challenge, lift the ball of your other foot off the floor and turn your toes up. Arms are like a T, hands in mudra of attention. Release your tailbone down. Practice your breathing. Okay, now back to the center and just lean forward. Bring your hands or fingertips to the floor. Settle in here for a moment. And if you've lost the long, smooth quality to your breath, bring it back now. Okay. Now, let's lift up. Let's go back into that frog variation at the front of your mat. We'll sink back into the frog. Now, this time, once you're in this squatting position, feel free to move around a little bit if it feels like you want to go a little kind of diagonally side to side, or whatever feels good in this squat variation. Okay, now let's go back to the longitudinal lunge or the front lunge. So shoot your right foot back and bring your right knee down. All right. And from here, now bring your hands to your left thigh and just sink deeper so your knee goes over your little toes and then lift up so your knee goes over your ankle. You might need to readjust where your left foot and your right knee are, of course, for this lunge. Okay, now once you find a good spot, lift your left hand up, sorry, left hand up, right arm forward, and wrap your fingers around your thumbs for Mushti Mudra. Now, if you just want to hang out here and get a stretch and work on flexibility, stay here. If you want a more challenge, more strengthening, curl your right toes under and lift your right knee just a little bit off the floor into this old school warrior variation. So either here with your right knee hovering off the floor, or if that's too intense, right knee can be on the floor as well. Wherever you are, take a few more slow, smooth breaths. And like before, see if you can release your tailbone down toward the floor. Maybe even get some breath into your back. All right, good. Bring both hands down. And let's just change sides. So when you're ready here, step your right foot forward and shoot your left foot back. Bring your left knee down and hands to your right thigh. Then sink deeper, lift back up and sink deeper a few times. Let's check out this side. All right, now right hand up, left hand forward. Wrap your fingers around your thumbs. Either stay here and work on flexibility. If you also want to work on strength and balance, have your left knee hovering off the floor. Release your tailbone down. Breathe into your back. Okay, both hands down. And let's return to down dog. Let's step back to down dog. Readjust here. Smooth out your breath again. Okay, let's come into plank pose just to transition all the way down and take a moment to relax. Relax. I'm having problems with my words today. Have a moment to relax in crocodile pose. All right, let's lift up in a sphinx pose. You can create a little more length in your waist here. Once you've created some more length, keep your hips on the floor. Keep the fronts of your hips down as you bend your knees and make circles with your shins so you rotate your thighs again. And reverse it, go the other direction. Great. Now bring your feet back to the floor. Feel free to stay in Sphinx a little bit longer. Or if it feels good, lift into a bigger cobra. Or if it feels good, into upward facing dog. Take a few breaths wherever you are. A few more breaths wherever you are. And then last time back into downward facing dog. Great. Let's come back down to all fours. Just cross your ankles, have a seat, stretch your legs forward. Now, let's repeat the windshield wipers. Feel free, like before, have your weight on your hands. If you want to make it a little more core strengthening, well, a lot more core strengthening, have your hands off the floor. But as always, if you take your hands off the floor and it hurts any of your joints, your knees, your low back, or any joint for that matter, then bring your hands back to the floor. That's okay too. All right, now go to your first side again. Go to one side. Set up a good 90-90 position. Now, this time instead of the twist, make some circular motions with your upper body. It'll be a little more challenging with your hands off the floor. Again, if that hurts a joint, then have your hands on the floor for support. Make some circles. And if you're making these circles, when you're making these circles, keep your right hip off the floor. So I'm going to focus on keeping my left knee and my left hip down. My right hip's going to stay off the floor, though. Go both directions. Make some small circles, make some big circles. And then you find a good spot, maybe hang out there and bring your hands to the floor. Great. Unwind and change sides. Stay up to 90-90 and then make some circular motions with your upper body, with or without the support of your hands. And if you find a good spot, hang out there a bit and breathe. All right, good. And unwind and bring the soles of your feet together. Sit up nice and tall for a few breaths in Baddha Konasana. And then begin to lean forward over your feet. Great. Now we're gonna go back onto the floor or on our backs in the supine position, and we'll do the dead bugs. Now, a lot of you already know the dead bug position and will exercise really well. If you don't, maybe sit up a little bit longer. Just watch what I'm gonna do. But we're gonna start here on our backs and pretend we're a dead bug. So your arms are vertical, your thighs are vertical, kind of like you're in table pose, but on your back. And now, speaking of your back, once you're here, this is the main point. Tighten your abdomen and press your low back into the floor. Tighten your abdomen and press your low back into the floor. And make that whole pressing your low back into the floor the priority here for the next, I don't know, 60 seconds. Now, also resist your left hand and your right thigh into each other. Don't pull your knee in, do the opposite. Press your leg into your hand and vice versa so you feel more core engagement. And then finally, reach with your left arm and your right leg, but don't let them touch the floor. Keep pressing your low back down to the floor, however. Now, the next time you inhale, come back to that starting position and change sides. Press your right hand to your left thigh. Reach with your left arm on your right leg, but keep pressing your low back down into the floor. And now inhale back to the starting position and go back to the first side. Reach with your left leg, right arm, press your low back down. Inhale back to the dead bug and change sides. Let's keep going for like another 45 seconds or so at your own pace. Still prioritizing the low back pressing down when you Move your arms and legs. Okay. Once you've gone to both sides, then relax and just let your knees fall out away from each other with the soles of your feet together. Take a moment here to relax. Okay, let's go back to that first windshield wiper side. So drop your knees to your left. Bring your left ankle on your right thigh. Turn your chin to your right. Take a few breaths here. And then change sides. Okay, pull your knees into your chest. Now, before we rest for a little bit, let's practice Tadaka Mudra. So reach your arms overhead, interlace your fingers, press your palms for the wall behind you, press your heels for the wall in front of you. So you use the strength of your arms and legs to really lengthen your spine. Now, like we did earlier, tuck your chin. Exhale all the breath out. Once you empty your breath, suck your navel back so you can hollow out your abdomen and it resembles an empty pool. After a second or two, relax your abdomen. Inhale and repeat. Exhale all the breath out, then all three bandhas, emphasizing Uddiyana Bandha. So you hollow out your abdomen. Let's try that one more time. All right, relax your arms and legs. And then just for a few minutes, go back to the way we started. Allow the floor to take your body weight. Allow your upper and lower rows of teeth to separate. Soften your eyes, even release your breath. So you're not shaping it or controlling it, not really practicing pranayama right now, but continue with your pratyahara. So you're still drawing your senses and your awareness inward, observing on the inside, almost like you're observing someone else. All right. And so, bring some awareness back to your extremities. Wiggle your fingers and toes and roll your ankles and wrists. Take the next minute or so to work yourself back up to seated and into any comfortable seated posture. Okay, let's just do a few short rounds of kapalabhati next. This first round, either rest your hands on your lap or your knees, whichever is more comfortable. Sit up nice and tall, then do 36 kapalabhati breaths. After 36, take a deep ujjayi inhale, and then pause, retaining the breath in, with the root lock and the throat lock sealing the breath in. And then hold the breath in for as long as you can comfortably. Of course, don't strain. When it feels like you need to exhale, then just exhale and allow yourself to breathe freely again. Okay, now for the next round of 36, bring your arms up, interlace your fingers, and press your palms toward the ceiling. After 36, arms down, deep breath in, then pause. Let's practice being really still. And for the last 36, arms up, bend your elbows and touch your shoulders. After 36, arms down, deep breath in, then pause. Find that stillness again. And once you've exhaled this time, if it feels like you need to change the cross of your legs or adjust your seat in any way, take care of that. And then practice jiva mudra by bringing the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And then slide it forward so the tip of your tongue touches the gum line where the roof of your mouth and your front teeth meet. And now focus all of your attention on the sensation the breath is creating when it's rising and falling through both nostrils. Just be really aware of the sensation the breath creates as it's rising and falling through both nostrils. And if you notice one nostril feels more open than the other, and then shift your awareness and just focus on the breath, rising and falling through the less active side until it feels like the nostril flow balances out. If your mind begins to wander, that's okay. But if you notice the wandering, bring it back to watching the flow of the breath rise and fall through both nostrils. All right, then bring your palms together to Anjali Mudra and take one last moment to enjoy the peace you've created through the practice. Start to rub your palms together, create a little heat in your hands. And once you build some heat, rest your hands over your eyes. Feel it moving in, recharging your senses. Take one last slow, smooth breath in here. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed class. Have a fantastic day. And I hope I get to see you again soon.